And just a little bit of anticipation into that final halt, but a good finish and a really nice use of those transitions between walk and trot, really mixing that up through her floor plan. Showed some super symmetrical floor plans here. Unfortunately, having those errors in that start of the leg yield, the horse just getting confused with that aid from that outside leg and matching it on the other rein as well, but really nicely back into that rhythm. And this combination finished 5th in the individual. And those slight errors would just be affecting that harmony and those artistic marks a little bit at the end, but showed a really intricate floor pan and a super use of the arena. And there is a bit of a risk when you make that floor plan a bit more difficult that it can then affect those technical marks. But if you can manage to get the quality and that more challenging and more detailed floor plan right, then you really can pick up those marks, but always a bit of a gamble. And it's down to the riders to take those calculated risks, how they can best show off the horse, but also how they can pick up those marks for a more interesting choreography and a really good use of the arena. And she did that really well, just had those few unfortunate errors today, but this horse has been so consistent through the week and has shown some real quality and a lovely attitude for that young horse. Italy just finishing outside the medals for the team competition yesterday after some really strong performances from all the riders. But they've had a very strong week. A little bit of an unfortunate start with Sara Morganti at the start of the week, but she'll ride again later. And those scores just coming through now. So technical scores of 64.733, artistic of 73.6. So a final score of 69.167. And those artistic scores really pulling the mark up, so that those choreography and musical marks really showing that the judges enjoyed that floor plan, enjoyed the music and artistic side of that, but those errors just unfortunately bringing that mark down. But very, very strong potential with that floor plan and with that partnership, and real scope to pull those marks up a little bit higher as they move into next year. And 7 riders are left to go in this grade 3 class. So next into the arena, this next rider riding for Belgium. They finished in 6th place individually at the start of the week. And again, part of that Belgian team just missing out on the podium. Very, very close between 5th and bronze. Really did come down to the last riders. This combination, very experienced as a partnership. This 14-year-old gelding Stewart. And they come forward for their final test of this week. So entering the arena now, representing Belgium, it's Barbara Minneci. Just not quite getting that first halt, unfortunately. So she can hopefully pull up that average with the final halt. Really strong music, really adding a bit of drama to this trot work. Smoothly into those leg heels, just careful not to get too much neck bend through those. That music really matching the rhythm of the trot work very nicely, and that will pull up those marks for artistic. Lovely steps in that medium. Very nicely matched with that music and those transitions up into trot and that serpentine. Horse just getting a little bit low in front at times. Yeah, better in that second half. Just want to show that bit more self-carriage. Tongue just popping out. Hopefully the judges didn't spot that. Really nice through this trot work into this leg yield. Smoothly over, could just stay a little bit straighter. But showing some real consistency through this work. Those little moments of resistance with that mouth opening. Nicely through there. And just stepping back into that final halt, but a really nicely timed program. That music really fitting in with those transitions in a really super way. She timed that to perfection. Those transitions through that serpentine, the transitions into the medium trots, just all matched it really nicely. I think it should scoop up some very nice marks in that artistic section. Just those few moments of the horse just showing a little bit of resistance, a little bit on the forehand at times. You can just see there just a little bit of mouth opening, that tongue just coming out a bit to the side that might keep some of the marks down, but pretty good through most of the compulsories, and a much more consistent test in this grade 3, so looking really secure through that work. So she should go into the lead at this point. And fellow teammate Kevin watching on. A really good job from this combination. You can just see how secure and confident they are as a partnership and as a combination. Really able to ride the details of that test. And really tricky. And those are those scores, and it's a good one. 71.533 for technical, 75.440 for artistic, so 73.487 overall. So that is an improvement on her score for the individual. And if she can move up the placings in this class, she'd be very happy with that. And if you riders do have the option to put those compulsories in more than once if they find something difficult or want to have the option to do it again, but that does come with a bit of a risk, because if you get it right the first time, you don't want to have to repeat it and risk bringing that mark down. So if you can have some areas in your test where you have the option to repeat a movement, that does give you a bit of scope if you make a mistake through one of the compulsories. But there's not always time to do that in these floor plans, so it's a real balance of taking risks and trying to keep those compulsory movements as high as possible to bring that technical mark up. And next into the arena, representing Spain, riding this 20-year-old gelding, Fuesta No, is Carla Onrubia Roman. She finished 7th in the individual just to qualify through in this top 8. Just not quite getting that square halt to start. But really going for it with this trot work. Showing that steeper leg yield from that centre line. Again, just want to see the horse a little bit straighter through there. Nicely through these circles, and super symmetry, matching the move to extend to medium trot she did on the other rein. A little bit better this way. again, matching that music really nicely there with those transitions. You've got to be really careful there because you really need to make sure you've completed the serpentine. So you really need to cross A to finish that serpentine movement, which is a compulsory. So hopefully she just about did that to finish. Just not quite settling for that free walk, but keeping those steps. And she is one that's choosing to canter. Oh, flying change is not allowed, but very obviously not deliberate there. Riders will get penalised if they're thought to show movements not allowed, but that was very obviously a spook. Nicely through that serpentine. Medium trot, a favourite for this horse, and a really bold finish. A super test for this combination. They really went for that. Just losing a little bit of softness, and the horse needs to be a bit more over the back at times, but shows some super power, some really nice work through there. She showed some really bold riding here, and the work matching the music in a really nice way, really showing that transitions. You can just see at times the horse just a little bit too much inside bend to the right in particular. You can see a little bit better here through this right leg yield. But this horse really keen, really willing. Really nice riding here from Carla, and they're a very exciting combination. I think still more to come from this pair. Really nice to watch and very well matched as a combination. Really make a super picture. And I think not quite possibly showing the relaxation that we saw from our previous combination, but two very, very different horses with very different highlights. And here are those marks. So 67.533 technical marks, 71.040 artistic marks, so 69.287 that final score, and they go into second place at this point in the class, so just sitting behind Barbara after those three riders. And I think a really nice floor plan through that trot work in particular, really nice for the judges when you have that level of symmetry. They know what to expect. They don't have to look for where the compulsories are coming. You want to make that job really easy for them. You don't want them trying to figure out if you're doing a circle or a, because you haven't completed the movement enough. It needs to be really obvious, and when a floor plan is symmetrical, they know what to expect from that second section on that new rein, and it really just makes their job a little bit easier, and they're able to sit back and enjoy the quality a bit more. And she did a really good job of making that interesting, as well as making it easy to watch. So some super work coming through from these first few riders. And this next rider coming forward into the arena. She finished in 8th place in the individual and will be really pleased to have made this freestyle final at her championship debut. Representing Ireland on this 13-year-old gelding, Davidoff, a 188. And coming forward for Ireland, this next rider into the arena will be Jessica McKenna. And this horse, very experienced, former ride for Denmark, but giving Jessica some super experience internationally and at this championship. Entering the arena for Ireland, Jessica McKenna. And we have this very upbeat ABBA themed floor plan to look forward to, and music. And if you're not dancing at the end of this, I don't know what it's going to take. This music matching this trot work really nicely, really strong beat. Just not quite establishing those walk steps through that serpentine. Could just be a little bit clearer through there. Showing some nice consistent trot work through here. Very good timing for that transition. this horse stays very consistent in the frame and the connection, just sometimes gets a little bit long, a little bit on the forehand, just for those higher marks. Just want that little bit more self-carriage. Showing some good stretch here. Could just take the nose out and forward a little bit more. Again, very good riding, good timing with that music. Oh, that was an unfortunate trip into that final hole. Another clean test for Jessica. Just a little bit of miscommunication through that serpentine, just not quite establishing the walk, and those leg heels just drifting a little bit, but some real quality steps through this horse can produce. And a really nice upbeat, well-matched music to go with it. She'll be delighted to have had such a good week at this championship debut. And Davidoff has given her 3 good tests. She's been able to really go in there and ride positively without worrying about anything else. So a very good experience for both of them, and again, more to come from this pair, I'm sure. And some of the audience just nodding along to that music already. I'm sure we'll see more of that as the day goes on. I think everybody loves Freestyle Day after the drama and stress from the individual and team medals. Really gives the riders a chance to be a bit creative and add that bit of extra personality into those tests with that music selection. Those marks coming through, so 66.667 for technical, 72.120 for artistic, so a final score of 69.393. So just moving into second place at this point. So again, Barbara staying out in front for Belgium. And Jessica just slotting into that silver medal place at this point. But that top of the table might change with this next group of 4 riders coming forwards now. And it's always a careful balance about whether you play it safe and ride for the quality in the technical marks, or whether you can take risks. And if you can take risks and make the floor plan more creative and keep the quality of the technical work, you are in for those big marks. And this next rider coming forward is one who is able to do that. So the second group of 4 riders are the top 4 from the individual, and they will all be fighting for those medals. Lotte just missing out on the medals by 0.1%. in that individual test. She will be on a high from her gold medal in the team competition yesterday with the Netherlands, and will be looking to add an individual one to that tally. But the next rider will not just be looking for a medal, he'll be looking for that gold medal to match his individual gold medal. And in he comes, representing Denmark on this beautiful 15-year-old mare, Jolene Hill. They've won World Championship titles. They've won Paralympic titles. They are pretty much unbeaten, apart from with his second ride. And fortunately for Tobias and for the grade 3s, he can only ride one horse here. Because I think we'd all be in trouble if he could ride more than one. And he has a very strong start to his floor plan. You will see straight away the level of difficulty and quality that you can expect from the rest of his test. So entering the arena for Denmark, Tobias Thorning Jorgensen. This horse, not a huge fan of halts sometimes, so very briefly through that, but look at this. A trot half past zigzag to start. Showing really nice changes of bend through those movements. Again, matching that on this other rein. Quality of this trot work is just beautiful. Yeah, showing a bit more power in this second medium trot. Again, just keeping that really nice rhythm and expression through all this trot work. You can see how he's able to control that horse's body through these movements, keeping her in such a nice balance to be able to show off this trot. Nicely parallel through that leg yield. And it's not often you see 2 3-loop serpentines with those transitions. Both of them coming off cleanly. quite as parallel going into this one, but better towards the end and still very nice quality. They have the ability to score over 80% in this freestyle. And he's not made any mistakes so far. Super stretch through this free walk. And they could do with a very good halt to finish, just to try and bring that average up, because that first halt not quite getting the immobility. They're only tiny flaw in this test. Super control through those shoulder ins, that extra movement. And a powerful medium chop to finish. A little bit on her head, but a better halt for that final halt. And another super test from this pair. And I've seen her look very on her toes in the freestyle sometimes, but actually looking very relaxed through there. Just that first halt not matching the quality of the rest of the work, but when you're getting 8s and 9s for some of the other work, it balances out pretty nicely in his favour. And just really able to maintain the quality through that more challenging and technical program. Just a really nice combination, such a established partnership. You can really see why they've had such brilliant results that they've had over the years. That music matching this horse so nicely with that introduction using her name. And there's marks just coming through for you shortly, but we should have a new leader. Just by how much is the question, as he sets that bar for the final 3 riders to go. The Danish team watching on. They've had a bit of a mixed week, with Nicole having to pull out of the team competition down to 3 riders. But Tobias has dominated the grade 3 so far. 78.867 for technical, 88.8 for artistic, 83.834 their final score. Absolutely phenomenal. It's just what we expected from them, but to deliver it time after time is just outstanding. And he has really set the bar high in this grade 3 class once more. And I think that pretty much secures him that gold medal, but the battle for silver and bronze is on with these next 3 riders. And this next rider in, just missing out on that individual medal by the smallest of margins. She was part of the winning team competition yesterday, so has that gold medal around her neck already, but she'd really love an individual one. So next into the arena, riding this 17-year-old mare, Rosenstolz NOP, representing the Netherlands, Lotte Krijnsen. This mare really powerful. She really could do with doing a clean test through here to put herself in contention, and she's off to a nice start. Just want to see the horse settling a little bit so you don't get that swinging in the connection. So also choosing to add in some shoulder in here. Using those 2 half 10-meter circles to set the horse up for this new bend. Nicely through that trot circle. Just watch that shoulder through that leg yield, but cleanly across. Yeah, super into that walk transition. A little bit more on the forehand through there, but cleanly showing those walk steps. Just got a little bit onward in the walk yesterday, or 2 days ago, for that team competition in the Grand Prix B, but showing nicer relaxation through this walk section. Much more consistent. Just needing to stay a little bit more up. And the horse anticipating that trot movement a little bit there, I think. You can just hear a little bit ahead of that music, but I think she was meant to go into that medium on the diagonal, and she just had to adjust her floor plan a bit where she was a bit ahead. Another rider choosing to show that 3-loop serpentine twice. There's that powerful medium she was wanting to show. We would have seen an extra one of those. Just not stepping forwards into that final hole, which was a pity, but a really strong test for Lotte. This horse just has so much power, using that really dramatic music to to go with that super leg yield to the right. Again, it's a real balance when you show more crossing to keep that balance and alignment in a in the right place. Really needing to show that control from the start and to the end of that leg yield. Particularly when you're in a short arena, you don't have a huge amount of space. So it's a very steep angle to go from that center line. And they're such a strong combination, such a strong partnership. This pair, they have had some super results in this grade 3 freestyle this year. And you can see those moments of really high quality work coming through there. And those German spectators looking on to see what their rider is going to have to do to get on the podium. She will be the last rider in this group, so she'll know exactly what is required. And here's the score: 73.4 for technical, 77.960. So a final score 75.680. So she goes into silver medal place at the moment. Very strong score forward for Lotte, and she will have to sit back now and watch what these final two riders can do to see if she can secure an individual medal at this European. So Tobias guaranteed a medal. We're pretty sure it will be gold. He's set that bar very, very high with that plus 83%. But these next two riders to come forward are the two medalists from the individual, silver and bronze medalists. And France will be first, the rider for Germany, the last rider to go in this grade 3 class. She is coming into the arena just now. And they have had a super year. They've posted some very good scores. So a medal is well within their grasp. But they need a clean test. To be able to do that, this next rider for France, riding this 17-year-old gelding, Swing Royale LFCE. Silver medal in that individual. Would love a second individual medal. So this next rider in for France, Chiara Zenati. Starting off with some French-themed music. Really nice rhythmic music matching this horse's paces. Very nice coordination with the music and cleanly through that serpentine. Very nice first trot section for them. Looking just a little bit hesitant through this walk work, but yeah, starting to soften there and stretch through. And then you really see this horse's true stride. And nicer through this right walk circle. That free walk really helping the relaxation. Showing that nice change of bend through those half circles. Nice positioning and straightness before she went into that leg yield. So showing a similar line to the individual competition. And again, choosing to go from the 3/4 line, so not quite as much angle of crossing as the others have just shown, but did those very nicely. And a very strong finish, just leaving that right hind behind, but very well matched with the music. And that floor plan, not quite as technically challenging as Lotte and Tobias, but what she did very well, and the quality of work was really there. She didn't make any mistakes, so I think she might just have done enough to go ahead of Lotte and go into that silver medal winning spot. The quality of work through there was really nice. The harmony was great. She just has such a nice partnership with this horse. Previously ridden by another French rider in the grade 4. And they've just gone from strength to strength over the years, but this last year really forming that strong partnership, and her results have shown that this year. And we'll have to wait and see it might be close. And it's great to see those volunteers watching and with some time to watch. They've done an amazing job with the show over the past week. And really wouldn't have a competition like this without all the work that goes on behind the scenes for the riders and for the event organisers. It's been a really nice competition with excellent facilities for the horses as well. And those French supporters just waiting for those scores. They've had a fantastic week already as they start to build their squad and their team ahead of the Paralympics next year, the host nation. But here are those scores, and it's a good one. 75.667 for technical, 79.880 artistic. So a final score of 77.771. Artistic scores up to 82%, and she does go into that silver medal winning spot. So a guaranteed medal for her, a guaranteed medal for Tobias. And Lotte will have to wait for this final rider to go to see if she can hang on to that bronze medal spot. And Chiara will have to wait to see if she can hang on to that silver medal or whether it will be a bronze. But a superb performance from that combination. They've been really outstanding at this championship, really stepped up. But this next rider to go also looking to pull something out of the bag in front of this home crowd. She won a bronze medal in the individual, a silver medal, part of that silver medal winning team in the team competition yesterday. But next into the arena, riding this 10-year-old gelding, Lemonese Loverboy. Representing Germany, Melanie Wienand. Choosing to include some vocals. Just representing that first hole. Both were square, but you just got that slight anticipation and movement in between them. I think a lot of people will recognize this music. Nicely into that leg yield again, choosing to show a bit more crossing than in that individual. Oh, that was unfortunate. I don't know what upset the horse there. Something really offending him. very nicely back into this trot work. You could just see she was just being a bit more careful through that trot work. It looks much more confident now, back into the swing of things. Much better harmony through this walk work. And I've just had a message through, not everyone recognizing the music, it's because I'm not as youthful as I was. I'm okay with that. Cleanly through that serpentine. And riding a serpentine loop to those 3/4 lines. So we saw that movement in the grade 1, but in walk, just needing to catch those quarters going into that leg yield, but much better on that second half. And again, that's after both leg yields, the horse just really resisting, going down that centre line. That's a real shame because that will really affect their harmony. A very good halt to finish. She's shaking her head. She's smiling. She knows that'll be expensive, but she really enjoyed that. And not quite able to show the consistency of the quality we saw in the individual. Very strange that the horse resisted in such an extreme way after both leg yields, because the leg yield itself was actually showing some nice quality. So I'm not quite sure what he's got a bee in his bonnet about with that, but possibly the angle being a bit challenging for him, and then he just hits the centre line and feels like he needs some freedom, but very, very extreme on both reins, which was a shame. Some real quality work in there, but those little bits of tension and just that little bit of lack of acceptance just going to affect those artistic marks and the marks for those leg yields as well. So possibly not doing quite enough to get on the podium today, but we'll have to see how this plays out. And again, part of that silver medal winning team in the team competition yesterday and an individual medal on the first day. Germany are having an outstanding week so far, with 3 riders still to come forward in this freestyle competition in the other grades. really exciting as they're building their team for Paris for that Paralympics next year. And this final score in this grade 3 just coming through for you shortly. Yeah, 69.533 technical, 72.440 for the artistic, so 70.987. She goes into 5th place in this freestyle class. So those moments of resistance just affecting those marks and just bringing that down, which was a real shame, but a super week for this combination. And so that podium staying the same. So these are your final results. Gold for Denmark again, 83.834. Chiara Zenati takes the silver, 77.774 for France. And a bronze medal for the Netherlands, 75.680. And Lotte picks up that individual medal in this grade 3 class. And a very, very high scoring grade 3 class. Tobias there just being congratulated by his support team. A superb performance by him to take that gold medal. But that is the end of that grade 3 freestyle individual class, and we will be back with the grade 2s at 9 o'clock.